Alright guys, what's up? Long time no see. I'm in week 3 of my paid Coronication, so I'm starting to kind of lose my mind. Been doing a lot of stuff around the house, been doing a lot of shooting, but not rifle stuff. So kind of saving all my rifle ammo, which I do have quite a bit, but saving that for the impending boogaloo. But I've been shooting a lot of shotgun, a lot of handgun, mainly with just my carry piece. But I figured, out of boredom and just kind of out of what's going on lately, I would tell you about a conversation that I recently had with some of my friends, guys I've taken classes with, guys I've trained with, and just local fellows that I sometimes shoot with. Kind of got on the subject of how it seems like we've kind of come a long way compared to like our original beliefs and our the stuff we used to kind of buy into, and things that we thought we knew, and how once you kind of change your mind and alter your opinions on stuff, it seems like a lot of people kind of want to crucify you for it. Like, oh, well, you said this was dumb and you didn't like this, and back in the day, well, you know what, yeah, that's true. I also used to carry 40 caliber, but you know what, things change. I don't have anything personally against the caliber. I find that I prefer 9, but that's just like one of many examples. So I was kind of going through my stuff. I've been cleaning and kind of lubing guns and just kind of checking things out, and some I still have yet to do. But it kind of got me thinking about it as I'm going through, and I kind of had like a list of examples of things that either I no longer believe or just stuff that I've kind of changed my stance on. So I figured I would share them, but it at the risk of the backlash from the genius people who comment on YouTube videos. So one of the things, probably the most obvious, we'll just get that out of the way. Like years ago, I made a video and talking about like unnecessary modifications to carry guns, mainly Glock and stuff like that. And one of the things I harped on, before I even get into that, one thing you have to realize is stuff that I talk about or stuff that I make fun of, a lot of it's directed towards guys I know. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's like, friends of mine, people who I shoot with, guys I train with. So, we're famous for, breaking balls, and that's just kind of what it is. But as time goes on, you kind of realize, well, maybe the stuff I used to talk wasn't as, concrete or, solidified as I used to. And one of those, like I said, the main one is stippling. Like in the past, I used to, joke about it and make fun of my friends and guys who I knew who did it, and said it was completely unnecessary. If you know how to shoot a gun, know how to hold a gun, you're fine. And I still stand by that. But then something kind of changed. I found myself going to classes, and more guys had stippled guns. I'm like, okay, after breaking balls, and making kind of making fun of them or giving them shit, I figured, let me try this. And that doesn't just go for students too, also instructors. Like one of the best instructors by far I've ever trained with is Dave Spalding. If you don't know who he is, you need to check him out. He's of Handgun Combatives, but he has a heavily stippled, like altered frame gun. So he let me run his 19, and I kind of liked it a lot. But so like I said, not too long ago, I sent this off. I wasn't going to spend 5 or 6 hours to do this myself, so I sent it to a company and paid them $90 to do it. And I gotta say, I'm a complete believer in it now. Again, I'll still stand by the fact that I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need to do it, but it definitely kind of made an improvement. I like how it kind of slimmed the grip up a little bit too. And just for obvious reasons, I'm sure by now everyone knows the benefits of stippling your polymer gun. Again, not necessary at all if you don't want to do it. If you're totally against it, I understand, because at one time I was too. But I've kind of decided that I like it now. And being forced inside and recently acquiring a stupid wood burner, I've kind of went over here and did stuff to my fore-end of my shotgun, and it actually helped quite a bit, because when running this thing, especially these Magpul, handguards, they get pretty damn slick if you're outside and getting hot and sweaty. So I went ahead and that's how I spent an hour of my life, was stippling my forend. But I love that shotgun. It's a pretty sexy beast. But anyway, yeah, so that's just kind of like one of the major things. Another thing was, I guess since we're here talking about long guns, AK-74. So to date, by far, that's probably my favorite gun that I own, and it's the one I like to, have the most fun shooting with. And I've taken, sadly, only 2 rifle classes with that gun. It needs to be out. It needs to be out more, but as times are weird kind of right now, so I'm kind of wanting to save my ammo and not commit to anything. Besides that, who's holding classes nowadays anyway? Hardly anybody. But yeah, so I had always been a huge AK-47 guy. I didn't really see the need or reason for the smaller, lighter, faster round until I shot one, and I pretty much fell in love with the 74. I mean, it's amazing. The guns are lighter, the ammo is weighs like weighs half as much as 7.62. Zero recoil. You can go really fast. The farthest I've shot with that gun is 400 yards, and it was extremely easy to hit two-thirds sized steel silhouette targets prone. So a little bit more accurate, and I love the gun. I love the round. So I still have one of my 47s. I'm not ever going to get rid of that. But yeah, so it's just an example of shit I used to believe and think that I would never really get into. Speaking of which, I guess I kind of took it off here a second ago. But appendix carry. I never hated the idea. I just never thought that I ever found a need or would have a need to carry appendix again until I tried it. Now I see at least a dozen different benefits. It works better for me. It's not for everyone. I understand. I was just as apprehensive as everybody else was, especially at first. So I understand. But again, something I thought that I would never do, and then I've completely changed my mind on. I guess getting back to the carry pistol, never thought I would carry a weapon-mounted light. At least not seriously. Not all the time. I've tried before, with a normal inside the waistband holster, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get, it wasn't comfortable. It just wasn't for me. So, but I finally, committed to it, made myself do it, get the proper holster for it. And, for about 90% of the time in the past 2 years, this Gen 3 17 has been my carry gun. Like I said, there's been a couple of intervals in there when I just carried my, Glock 19 for a while, and then the CZP-10. But by far, that's my go-to carry gun. And so, it's a big gun with a big, fat, obnoxious light that's easily held in a proper appendix carry. So now, unless I'm going to be outside the waistband, like at a rifle class or something, I see no need to ever change and go away from appendix. Speaking of pistols, going on to the next thing, double action, single action guns. I thought they were okay. They were interesting. I just never understood the need for them, because to me that long, heavy first, pull of the trigger, the double action, seems kind of like a unnecessary safety precaution, especially when compared to striker guns. Why not have a 4.5, 5.5 pound trigger all the time instead of a 8, 10, 12 pound and then a nice single action? But again, I got an opportunity to run a few of them, and I decided that I really liked the CZ75. So picked one of those up, and I love it. It's fun. I've actually carried it a few times. It's something that I never thought I would do. Sadly, though, I've kind of let that gun down, because I think I only have about 700 rounds. I know it's less than 1,000. It's more than 500, less than 1,000. Based on the half a case plus I know that I've ran through it. So I need to get that gun out more and shoot it and practice with it, maybe even take a class with it. I was contemplating it, but I didn't. But I don't know, just kind of some I know this is kind of like a rambly video, but basically I guess the point of it is just to, I guess, iterate that, as time goes on, as, new evidence presents itself, and as, you take more classes, you shoot more guns, you read more things, you talk to more people, you try things out, you train more. It's okay if your opinions change. It's okay to go back on what you originally thought was gospel. Like, I got to tell you this, like, thinking of like tax return money, there's a good chance I might buy myself a 1911. That's something that I never in a million years thought would be possible. Like, I'm looking at a couple different Dan Wesson models because I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna get a 1911, get a 1911. And I don't want to spend, three, four, five, $6,000 on one, but I could see myself spending, 12, 1,500 on a halfway decent one. But I don't know, guys. So, that's okay. That's okay. If friends want to give me shit, break balls, make fun of me, for going back on some stuff that I have said in the past. Like I said, especially, like stippling and doing aftermarket work to your carry gun. That's fine. I can take it. But it's just one of those things that kind of as you go along, you end up surprising yourself because you come across things that you thought were gay or that you'd hate or you thought was stupid. And then kind of the more of a chance you get to deal with it or run it or experience it, you kind of change your tune. And regardless of what all the douchebags out there say, it's okay.